A-level mathematics. You open the first page of the exam, and every number you spent 5 years learning is gone. Where there used to be numbers, there are now letters, functions, and proofs that loop back and swallow their own tails. This is the class that English students between the ages of 16 and 18 years take to get into university, and it is the single most chosen A-level in the country. In 2025, over 112,000 people took it, 1 in every 8 A-level students. No other A-level comes close. Under one class, it is split into 3 different worlds: pure maths, statistics, and mechanics. Most students don't pick this class out of their love for mathematics. They choose this class out of fear of the doors that will close if they don't. Mathematics lies under every STEM class. It is the foundation of economics, finance, and computer science. It is a subject that you cannot hide from. Nobody warns you about the jump from GCSE to A-level maths. It is the steepest step up in the whole system, and it will catch you even if you have never struggled in maths before. It's not just doing harder problems. For the first time, you have to prove why something is true. Supporters call it the most transferable qualification that you can hold. It unlocks the widest range of degrees. Critics point out the knowledge gap. Students who cruise through GCSE maths show up and hit a wall and end up dropping the class or ending with a grade that they would have never expected. If nobody's gone through the ups and downs of every class with you, subscribe so that I can continue making videos like this for you to prepare for the upcoming semester. A-level English literature. You have read through the same novel 4 times, and tonight you read through it a 5th time, hunting a singular sentence that you can build an argument on and defend for an hour. English is the essay flagship and is the exact opposite of maths. Where maths has one right answer, English has none. Students study a minimum of 8 substantial texts across poetry, prose, and drama, sit around 3 exam papers, and carry a coursework essay worth nearly a 5th of the grade. The marks do not come from what you read. They come from whether you can build an interpretation and make an examiner believe it. This class drills your ability to argue, find evidence, and read between the lines. The same skills that law, journalism, and every humanities degree screen for. Supporters call it a facilitating subject, one of the traditional academic subjects that selective universities like to see. They will tell you that the writing skills it builds transfer to almost everything. Critics say that the marking feels subjective, since 2 smart readers can take the same passage and disagree on its meaning, and that the volume of reading and essay writing can be overwhelming. A-level chemistry. A burette, precise drops, a color change caught at the exact right second, and a calculation that you cannot mess up, or else none of it means anything. Chemistry is a gatekeeper of subjects. Almost every medical, dental, veterinary, and pharmacy degree in the country requires it. Around 24 UK medical schools name it as compulsory. Oxford and Cambridge require an A in it, and Imperial demands both biology and chemistry. If your plan has a white lab coat in it, chemistry is essential. It filters because it sits right between maths and biology. It needs the abstraction of one and the fine detail of the other, so it quietly sorts for the students who can hold both at the same time. Supporters will tell you it opens the highest demand careers there are and is respected everywhere without exception. Critics point to the sheer volume of content and the notoriously tight grade boundaries. In 2025, only about 1/3 of entries got an A, and that is from a cohort already stacked with strong students. A-level psychology. You picked it to try to understand why people do what they do, and you leave more confused than you were when you started. Psychology proves that your intuition is wrong about more things than you think. Week 1, you are analyzing a 1960s experiment where ordinary volunteers believed that they were electrocuting strangers with a switch, and 2/3 kept flipping it because a man in a suit told them to. This opening experiment is the Milgram Obedience Study from 1963, and it tells you something about human nature in the first month of the class. Psychology is the second most popular A-level in the country, at around 76,000 entries per year, behind only maths. It also carries a reputation as a social study rather than a science. The reality of the class is memorization heavy, all named studies, dates, and buzzwords, integrated into research methods and inferential statistics that nobody saw coming. It works because 2 things collide: the mass appeal Everybody wants to understand people, and it slowly turns into a class on scientific methods that nobody signed up for. You sign up for the class because you want to be able to read people, and it turns into a class on standard deviations and variables. A-level history. History is the classic facilitating subject. Half of it is about evaluating sources, weighing who wrote a document, and figuring out whether they were lying. The other half of the class is long-form argumentative essays across the periods that you study. The grade is roughly 80% exams and 20% coursework, and that coursework is a 3,000 to 4,000 word investigation that you run independently. Universities see a good grade in history as proof that you can weigh evidence and hold a sustained argument under pressure. That skill moves to almost any degree, which is why the Russell Group listed it as a preferred subject for years. Supporters say the most selective universities prize it and that it builds argument skills that outlast the syllabus. Critics point to the brutal content and essay load, and to the fact that the marking rewards a specific technique you have to drill until it runs on its own. History is less about the past than proving that you can defend an argument. A-level physics. Half of the people you started with are gone by spring. Physics is the hardest math-dependent science with a reputation for low grades and a high dropout rate. In 2025, only around 32% of students got an A in the class. You can attend every class, follow every lecture, and still get taken apart by the exam because understanding physics and proving it on paper are two completely different things. It is built to separate, not to flatter. As for the engineering and physics degrees, it is designed to find the ceiling of your abilities rather than to reward the effort that you put in. Supporters say that it opens up engineering, commands real respect, and pairs perfectly with maths. Critics point to the harshest grade distributions of any subject, and that physics without maths is like trying to run while your shoelaces are tied together. A-level economics. Your first real diagram is two lines crossing. The single point where they meet sets the price of almost everything you will ever buy. Economics splits into micro and macro, the small decisions and the whole system, and it feels modern in a way most subjects do not. Students pick it dreaming of finance, business, and the city. That reframing is what hooks people. Once you can see the price tag sitting behind a decision, you cannot unsee it, and for a curious 17-year-old, that is hard to switch off. Supporters call it a strong door into business, finance, and philosophy, politics, economics style degrees. Critics point to something students rarely believe until it is too late. Real economics degrees focus on maths far more than conceptual economics. LSE, Cambridge, and Warwick require A-level maths and treat economics as just another subject with no special weight. One outreach group put it flatly that no degree in the UK actually requires A-level economics, and that students who have it and students who do not end up performing the same. A-level art and design. It is 11 at night, your portfolio is due, and you have been in the same studio since the morning. There is no exam to revise for. There is only the work and whether it is finished. Art and design breaks the entire pattern of this list. It is portfolio-based and coursework-heavy. 60% of the grade is a personal investigation you build across the whole year, and the other 40% is a set assignment that ends in a 15-hour supervised session. It is marked almost entirely inside your school and moderated outside it, with no traditional written paper anywhere. It earns its place because it builds the stamina to carry one project for months with nobody standing over you, which is the exact thing every art and design school wants to see before it will even look at you. Supporters say it produces a real body of work and rewards sustained originality in a way no exam can. Critics point to the enormous hidden hours nobody ever counts, and to the fact that some academic universities rank it below the traditional subjects.